I got fingers on my lips. Toys that I'm touching, I don't want to put them down. Instead, I want to talk about them. Yes, fresh. Smell the plastic that I crave. I want to shop. I can't be having Bruce Banner. I'm Dr. Rubber Band on Bruce Jenner. And you can call me after dinner. We can talk comic books, but we're here to talk toys. Be proud, make noise.
Everyone can relax. Toy Lips has returned. Hey guys, Dylan here, and welcome back to another Toy Lips action figure review. Today we're taking a look at the retro carded Cajun Casanova, Remy LeBeau, the mutant called Gambit. At this point we have the entire 90s roster, blue and gold teams, and I'm thrilled about that. I sure wish they'd redo that Psylocke though while we're redoing some characters, getting their hair did, getting a new coat. Maybe just redo that entire Psylocke, man. There's nothing good about that. But we do have the whole team, which is fortunate because we've got that Sentinel arriving today. I'm going to be focusing on that review, but I at least wanted to get into the Gambit review so I could have this toy out and available to be, mauled by the Sentinel. What? Why can't he just charge a whole Sentinel? Because it'd probably kill everybody. That's why. Okay. Favorite Christmas memory, probably. One year there was this great big black trash bag by the tree, and it was full of the Toy Biz X-Men. Unbelievable. My brothers and I had just dumped this huge bag out, and we're making piles. It was a really wild time. Super grateful. So if that's an indicator of how old I am and where I fall on this spectrum, man, this 30-year culture cycle, these guys got me by the, But at least I'm walking in with both eyes open, some kind of freaky mushroom grin on. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at this guy. Taking a closer look at the card, you can see this is just a really faithful reproduction of the vintage figures from the 90s. Complete with the character's name and their perceived selling point over here. In this case, a battle staff, reproduced in several languages for convenience. It's just a piece of garbage anyway. We're just going to throw this in the garbage. Let's take a look at the back. You can get a little read up on the character in several languages. There you go. What was that back in the day where they reveal 100 figures at once? And they were all unique molds and everything. I don't know. Let's go ahead and tear into this sucker though. And this is where it might get painful for some of you. No, I'm kidding. You're all here for this, right? This is great. Just get right in there.
Y'all.
First we charge the card, and we blow it up. Oh, and we have certainly found the cream here, ladies and gents. You see he's got his sweet battle stab. What language is that? Extra hand throwing the cards. I love how they've painted it, just the one side even, so you can have the option to make it look fully energized. Wow, this plastic tray actually feels thinner. That's odd. I'm with that. And yeah. Why are you all greasy, Lionel?
Remy LeBeau.
Also called Gambit. He typically refers to himself in the third person and has a penchant for playing cards. He is a mutant with the ability to generate and manipulate kinetic energy. He can imbue inanimate objects with this energy, causing them to explode, like the playing cards, or just hit harder, like his bow staff. He also knows Savate, boxing, and the nature of his power makes him something of a kinetic battery. Like, he can just keep chaining hits all ultra combo. He's also, superhumanly charming. That's also a power. But I guess it doesn't work if you know about it. And it's on the internet now, so you could probably discount that one. Gambit is a longtime member of the X-Men, bad boy with a shady past, cooked up by Chris Claremont and Jim Lee in 1990. He is seen here sporting his most iconic look from the 90s, really just a recolor of the earlier release with a new head. But this figure has so much style and personality, it does him a disservice not to give him his due. He's got the poofy hair, the super coat, the fingerless gloves, the, face glove. Yeah. Underneath here, this is his Thieves Guild attire. Some sort of extra festive light armor that comes in hot magenta. He wears really tight pants and that feature more magenta accent striping here. It's sculpted on there. And little metal piping flourishes. can see those are all the way back here. His core is cast in plastic. There's some slight marbling, but the paintwork all looks really clean. The hair has a nice wash, which I think is a very appropriate place for it if you don't want to go too crazy. His iconic red irises are looking pretty sharp. And I'm not mad they went with a clean chin. The other release has stubble, and I think it's kind of meh. I know we've seen this coat a couple times before, but it looks really nice. Sculpted in a soft plastic. It has all these nice terry folds and foldy holds. The boots are just crazy, but it would probably suck to get like French bulldog kicked in the face here. I've never seen anyone dressed like this down Louisiana way. He is a southern sumbitch and also known as the Ragin' Cajun. Perhaps this is how one should dress for a crawfish boil. Checking out the articulation, the Ragin' Cajun here, he can really get ripping. He's got this head on a ball joint and swivel. I swear I never mean to tear that off of there. It's not like it comes off easy. I mean, it comes off easy enough, you know, but it's not like your heads are going to fall off. It's just how they do. I've raved about their system before. I do love me some mass market Hasbro toys. These, of course, these will come all the way up. Rotates all the way around. Same with at the elbow. You get a full rotation there. Wrists are on a hinge. Ab crunch right here. He can go all the way forward like that. Back quite a ways. The coat kind of kicks it back on you some, but it doesn't offer that much resistance. Waist, twist and twist and twist and whoop! Why didn't anyone tell Mel Brooks? Down here, and you got a ball peg holding that leg joint in there, which has this upper thigh cut, giving you this great articulation there. And he is known for his superior fighting prowess, so this is great. You can get him into these really cool jump kicking poses, especially if you have custom made some stands out of pieces of wire and whatever. Coming down here, we have the double jointed knee, folds in half pretty well. You could get that thing way up there. Legs come all the way out to the side there. Remy can really open up those hips. Feet are on a hinge. You can come all the way forward, all the way up like that. And then they, of course, rock side to side. Yes, for planting firmly on the surface, even with a nice spread. For ghost riding the whip, of course. Not even pissed about this articulation, I'll tell you what. Well, let's move on. Getting into all the crap they packed this scumbag with. He's got the staff from the previous version, just a shade darker. Just a shade darker. Not sure it matters that much, and I feel as though it was often depicted as lighter, or even on the cover of the first issue of the Adjectiveless X-Men, like entirely brown, but I think that was just a mistake in the coloring, or they were just undecided at that juncture. But if you have that version and you prefer a slightly lighter shade, you can do that. He does come with this alternate hand where he's perhaps drawing a card, flipping a card, holding a card, doing this number or this number right at your face. This hand that is throwing several cards which have been very nicely painted there. This entire hand, you can see by the peg, it is colored in that clear plastic. And then we have the single card with the sizzling energy effect coming off of it there. And it is just painted on the one side in case you wanted it the other way to be like a fully energized look. If you have the previous iteration of the figure, you will have these same accessories here, these same energized card accessories, but without the cards painted, so they would look fully energized. I would enjoy having both just to mix it up as I saw fit, even though the gloves are a full black and this is just a very dark blue, but hardly noticeable. Pretty stoked about that. As far as anything else you might add, perhaps a little deck of cards. And, you know, I'm just getting spoiled now, but I would love like a more action-oriented screaming head. for when I'm doing, say, some flying side kicks or what have you. Perhaps a swappable lower half for the coat so that you could articulate it around. That's that gas. I'm really happy with the looks you can achieve with the accessories they've provided. Even with nothing else, man, he sure looks nice. Mr. LeBeau here is standing at about 6 3/4 of an inch tall, right to the top of his poofy hair. So for comparison, yeah, Juggernaut is obviously huge. This is a great rendition. I love the reds on this Juggernaut. Those two just look so great together, though, don't they? And here's that conniving Cajun with a couple of cutthroat contemporaries, ready to do a little marauding. And for a standard size comparison, here he is next to the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap Deadpool and the old Knucklehead. Who made that up? Some lunatic? Chris Claremont? Larry Hama? Len Wein? I don't know. R.I.P., buddy. Thank you. And to get a little more out there, here he is next to John 117 and a mythical NECA Ninja Turtle.
Tell me, you didn't pay money for this.
And then you can see we have the earlier edition of Gambit from just a few years ago. It is the exact same figure in just a darker color scheme with a different head. But it's still perfectly serviceable if you just like a slightly darker color scheme. And from the Wayback Machine, man, that is a classic. That is the OG Toy Biz Gambit. Circa 1990, my childhood. Don't forget about me, fellas. Actually, yeah, we'd rather forget about you with your two left feet. This is not representative of that universe line. This was like a sister line from the Wolverine movie, but based on the comic or whatever. Or whatever, you're embarrassing us. To wrap this up, I just want to say this figure is spot on. From just a visual standpoint, he is perfect. All of the articulation is great. He's got all of these appropriate twists and swivels and everything you could want. In fact, the only things I could say would be like wish list items, like an extra intense yelling head, some sort of code articulation, whatever that may be. But big thanks to the Hasbro Marvel team for cooking up something like this. You know what I mean? This is what it's all about. To just see those comic pages straight jump to life here. These fistable renditions. He is a Target exclusive, as is Anna Marie. And they both, strangely, seem to be available through the online store. You probably see the links peeking out at you when you're surfing around on other things, man. Maybe go for it if you don't have these yet. I know they've been out for a minute, but exclusive, scarcity. Sorry if you don't have a Target nearby. Hit up a buddy. I don't know. Gambit hate to see you go, Shell, but he love to watch you walk away. Sorry. Thanks for being here, guys. Where I come from, we always kiss the bridesmaid, too. Where you going? Gambit don't go away, he's not invited. Jacks are better to open.
I prefer solitaire, less I got someone to play with. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Like and subscribe if you liked and wish to subscribe. Yeah, go away. Yeah, go away. Yeah, go away.
End card.